Welcome to your daily reading, folks. I am currently under a tornado watch, so we'll see if you hear any tornado sirens while I'm giving you this reading. You have the Two of Wands. You have the Nine of Swords, and it's in reverse. Immediately, I get that you're terrified of the future, and it's unnecessarily so. This is you living in your own head about what could possibly happen, when in fact you just need to be in the dreaming stage right now. You really shouldn't be in this particular state at all. This is about you maybe literally staying awake at night, wondering, what am I going to do to take care of myself in the future? And I say take care of myself because the Queen of Cups is in reverse. For the past few readings, I've been talking to people who are leaving abusive situations, whether that's a domestic situation or whether that's a job situation. I've been speaking to people who've been struggling to know what to do after they leave that abusive situation. It's quite possible that you've been told all kinds of lies, like I've seen in the previous readings, that you've been told lies or you believed lies about your ability to take care of yourself. This is someone who is deeply compassionate, who is very loving, who is intuitive, and all that kind of good stuff. But on the other hand, it's in reverse. This is where you are quite possibly stagnant because you are so afraid of your future. You're afraid of bad things happening. You're terrified of bad things happening, in fact. You might have seen bad things happening to other people when they left their situations, and you're like, no way in hell am I going to be able to do this and have things turn out to be successful. Definitely hold your cup of love for yourself. You see how her particular cup, here we go, there we go. You see how her particular cup is closed to the world. Keep it closed for now. You definitely need to give yourself love and compassion. You need to tell yourself that you are strong enough to handle this. You know, water is, we think of as being soft, as taking the form of whatever thing it sits in, but we often don't think of water as being this overpowering river or this extremely powerful ocean, for instance. If you watch videos of waves, giant waves crashing against rocks or against lighthouses, for instance, like watching boats try to navigate a really choppy storm, you can start to appreciate water for how powerful it can be. Keep in mind that people drown in water, okay? You need to remember how powerful you are. You need to serve compassion and love to yourself first before you serve it to other people, especially because you are so heavily into this mindset. You're afraid of bad things happening when you leave this particular situation, and it's causing you to not think about how you can roll forward, perhaps on a new job, for instance. Maybe you have the abilities to start your own business or go into business with a partner, for instance. You have these abilities. This card indicates that there is that imagination there. You can dream. With this card being on top, you can absolutely dream about doing something new and cool for yourself. But as long as you're in this deep anxiety mindset, as long as you are speaking badly of yourself, that you can't do these things, that you're not smart enough, not intelligent enough, not beautiful enough, that you're not able to possibly navigate your way through the world, you're telling yourself lies, quite frankly. With this landing below the Nine of Swords in reverse, you're afraid that your work is going to be shit, that your work is going to be uprooted, if you will, before you even get started on it. This is another lie that quite possibly you've been told by the people in your abusive situation, or maybe you've been so heavily abused for so long that this is just what you believe about your world, about yourself, is that the world is a nasty place. And it can be, I'm not going to lie to you. It can be a nasty place in certain situations, but not always. You need to remember that the universe has your back on this particular front here, that they want you the universe, your ancestors, your guides want you to leave your abusive situation. Not from the top, from the bottom. I'm feeling like you want to explore things to a certain degree and that you do have the ability to be quite passionate. With the Queen of Cups, that is water on water energy, deeply intuitive. But right here, you've got, this is air with fire, and this is taking action with speed. You have the ability to do this, but something is holding you back, and I'm going to say that it's your anxiety and fear of the future. You're afraid that bad things are going to happen to you. But I want you to know that you have this ability, possibly within your birth chart. There is some fire and air energy that says this needs to be awakened. It's still within you, but first you need to remember that it's within you to begin with. You have a variety of choices to make, and one of them is particularly good for you. This lands on top of the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You're afraid that bad things are going to happen to you, but this is really your fears of, once again, the future, and you might be afraid of making choices. Some of these cups are good to pick from, and some might appear to be good to pick from, but in fact they aren't. This particular cup looks like it's one of accomplishment, but you can see that there is a skull drawn or painted into the side of that cup, indicating that this pursuit of ambition in this particular, maybe there's a direction that you're not supposed to go, for instance. Maybe there's a job, a career, a business that you're not supposed to start. What you need to do with this card is slow down and look at your options. With the clouds in the background, that suggests that it might be difficult to see things clearly, and I can understand that if you're so afraid of the future that it cripples you, that those clouds come into play. In order to see things clearly, tap into your intuition. When this card is in reverse, it indicates that you're able to see through the clouds just fine to the perfect choice for you. The Queen of Cups is a deeply intuitive person, and so is the Knight of Wands. When that's in upright energy, that is air and fire combined. Those are psychic abilities. Those are abilities that are able to think your way to the guides, to the spirits. Air is associated with mountains, with the holy ether, if you will, where our guides live, in a sense, even though they do live in our hearts in not a literal sense. But that's where you're supposed to reach a loftier expectation of yourself. You can do this, and you can do this with speed. I'm really sensing that you might enjoy therapy, counseling, and possibly if you're in an abusive situation, you might enjoy this on the down low so that you can protect yourself, get a plan for leaving, and put together a plan for you to get started in a way that feels good to you. Now, I've been getting this card quite a bit. This could be a business partnership with someone that you are attracted to, because this lands on the house because this lands on top of the Two of Wands and on top of the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is what could happen if you choose to put your fears to the side and recognize that they come from a deep place of concern for your inner child. Okay, your inner child right now is screaming that it wants to be taken care of, and it's afraid that it won't be taken care of. If you can settle those fears coming from your inner child and create a strong relationship between that and your inner adult, you can graduate to this. This might be a romantic partnership for you. It could also be a business partnership for you. Maybe you can look forward to a romantic relationship once again after you leave this particular abusive romantic relationship. This could be a new best friend. This could be a relationship with chosen family or with some blood relatives with whom you create a much stronger attachment with because it's time, because you were able to leave that abusive relationship. And by the way, I am pulling all of your cards from the bottom of the deck, okay? So this is deeply powerful energy. This is at the root, at the heart of the issue, what you can do to move forward if you weren't sure on how you could move forward. The Four of Swords is about taking a long break when it comes to talking, when it comes to thinking. You need rest. With this Nine of Swords in reverse, with this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, this says put these anxieties, these fears of the future, fears that you won't be successful, put all of that to rest and move forward in the power of the Queen of Cups and the power of the Knight of Wands together. This is the Page of Cups in reverse. This indicates some degree of emotional maturity, of Peter Pan-ish, if you will. Please don't take this the wrong way, but because you've been in this abusive situation for so long, it may be that you've just learned to expect bad things of every situation when that isn't the case. And you might discover that once you leave this abusive situation, that actually the universe is presenting some really cool opportunities to you that you didn't expect. This is you saying, I give up before it's even started. Okay? Please don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. The universe wants to give you great things. It wants to reward you for having left this situation. This is once again about you telling lies to yourself. And because this lands on top of the Wheel of Fortune reverse and on top of the Seven of Cups, there might be some lies that you believe about making a choice, that you aren't capable of making a choice. This is about wanting to start a new way of thinking, a new way of talking about yourself, talking to others, for instance, but you're too afraid to even pull out that sword and join the ether, the holy ether, if you will. Join the gods, so to speak, in their holy place, on Mount Olympus, so to speak. Let's do 3 more, and that's it. Knight of Swords in reverse. This is the energy you should be moving in quickly to get out of your situation. Yesterday, I told folks that if you don't leave now, it's going to get worse, that the universe will force you to leave that situation, and it will be far more unpleasant. It will be far more unpleasant than it would be if you just left earlier. Now, okay? You need to be in this energy. You need to leave. Run. This is the fastest moving knight in the whole suite, okay? You need to embody that energy. You need to be willing to accept help from others. When this is in reverse, you are the one who is not giving. You are the one who is receiving, who is accepting assistance from others. This is about you quite possibly going into a charitable organization, into a shelter, for instance, set up for people just like you. You need to accept this help. You need, with the Knight of Swords in reverse, you need to run to this shelter, to this charitable organization who can assist you. And then it will be over. And then you can relax and look back at the past when you're ready. It's probably not a good thing to immediately start processing your trauma, but you do need to immediately move on and get into rest and relaxation. You need to rejuvenate yourself so that you can rebuild later on. But right now, you need to leave if you haven't already. I am praying with all my heart that you do leave. I am praying for your healing, okay? Take care of yourselves. Be safe.